just as far as opening up the locker room, the practice facility for guys to come back whenever, having the players pick brains of some of the older guys that have done it and done it at a high level. Like bringing in the E. Reed hire, to me was one of the smartest things Manny could do, because you look at E. Reed, and one thing about Ed that I learned so much about when he was at Miami is that he was the first one in the building when it came to our off-season workout program. He was working out Reggie Wayne and Andrew Swayze before we even got in there as freshmen. And you're just like, this dude is in his off-season in the NFL, and being a college player, you don't know that he didn't need to be there until you got the NFL or your friends playing the NFL to learn that in the off-season you can work out whenever you want. You can literally work out at 5 o'clock in the night and go party and wake up. But the reason why he is a Hall of Famer now is his work ethic.
Wow.
And one thing that Ed would be able to help all these young men out with is work ethic, because, every guy that I've been around that's been a great player, a Pro Bowl player, a Hall of Fame player, there's one thing that separates them from the rest, and that's their work ethic. Whether that's extra film, extra cardio, extra, weight training, their work ethic separated them no matter what. You could just see there was something different in them. And you look at Ed, and he's got that. No matter what, he's got that. He's going to be able to show the secondary, the defensive players, how do you watch film. He's going to show the offensive players how to watch film too, because there's a reason why Bill Belichick said he was his worst nightmare, because he used to trick quarterbacks. So he'd be able to show the quarterback what the secondary is doing. He'd be able to show the wide receiver, do your route like this or not do it like this, because you'll confuse the secondary. Then also his ability to see talent and identify talent, and show Manny Diaz, hey, look, this young man right here can be something special at the U. You guys should look at film for him. And then when it comes to recruiting, I mean, come on. What kid and parents aren't going to want to sit down and pick his brain and be like, okay, if my son comes here, what can I expect? And then Ed just goes through everything, and you got to be like, well, he's a, 10-time Pro Bowler. He's an All-Pro. He's a Defensive Player of the Year. He's an MVP. He's a Super Bowl champ, and he's now in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think that's a guy that my son can, one, mentor his game after, but also learn so much about football and also just in life, because when it comes down to it, a lot of these young men aren't going to be fortunate to make the NFL or make a real career in the NFL where you have life-changing money. But someone like Ed would be able to help you, one, be successful after football. Getting a degree in University of Miami opens up so many doors. But now the life after football, hey, we're talking about money. We'll talk about finances and do this and do that. Like that's huge, especially when it comes to college kids, because you think you're the biggest of the big. Nothing can stop you now. And we're all going to the NFL, but in hindsight, a lot of them don't go into it. But it's definitely going to help that program out so much. And trust me, these young men are not going to want to be slacking in no meetings, in no film room, and no practice field with Ed lurking the hallways.
No, yeah, that Ed Reed being hired at Miami. I know a lot of people wanted Alonzo Highsmith, but Ed Reed was just, I think it's the icing on the cake. And all you need at the end of the day, if a recruit, he's deciding whether, okay, Miami or let's say Ohio State. Well, my last phone call was with Ed Reed. Look at Avonte Williams, for example. I mean, hey, I don't know if that had something to do with it, last minute flip, but ultimately, I think that's the best recruiting tool you can get in a football program.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Zoe, and I just don't think the position that Miami wanted to hire was good for Zoe, right? Zoe was talking about coming from being assistant GM in the NFL. Now you're coming to be the assistant to the head coach as the first-year coach.
Right.
I think Zoe wanted to be more of like athletic director, a general manager in the NFL. All more shots like that. I also think that for the young men that are recruiting now, Ed Reed is more of an allure than Alonzo Highsmith, because none of these kids really know who Alonzo Highsmith is, because they weren't born when Alonzo was tearing it up at the U. Everybody knows Ed Reed still because he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He didn't retire that much long ago, and he also was a coach for the Under Armour All-America game, so he's kept his feet on the ground level for these high school kids, middle school kids. So the allure of talking to an Ed Reed over Alonzo Highsmith, I think, is more attractive to the kids. Now, as far as Alonzo's done it at a high level. Green Bay, Cleveland, knows the ins and outs. But I think the position for what Miami is looking for wasn't for Zoe. Could we have greatly helped out the U? Of course it could have, but I just don't think it was the right position for Zoe.